Hello everybody, how you doing? I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I'm ready and I'm getting into this, which is today's video, because I upload a video every day and it will be just a chill talking video from my gaming room. I'll be potentially, this is like philosophical gaming session, but I don't really think it's very philosophical as much as just like a healthy approach towards modern life. I can call it like that. And what do I actually mean? I mean, check your psychological disorders. You need to be aware in order for you to prepare, protect, or whatever else there. You need to be aware of your issues in order for you to be able to work with them, right? So therefore, you need to kill the delusions that way and start following like the true reality and not just your own perception of it. And why do I say psychological disorders and not something more positive or so? Or why do I say it like everybody have a psychological disorder or only my viewers have a psychological disorder? I personally think that less or more, all of us have a psychological disorder. Well, the environment we're brought in to this world in modern day. I find the way of life that most of us live through, I find it to be sick. I kind of think it's sick. Everybody suffers for something. Everybody has a pain and struggles. From young, we're being taught stuff that we don't feel like really the most important things, and then we do as we're told, and it turns out things are not the way that they told us and prepared us for, and pretty tough. What I was talking about, yeah. And we, in the same time, all of us, as I said, we live this sick lifestyle, even thought we're living it. We cannot live it in a healthy way because we're not balanced, we're stressed, or we're having always some issue or whatever. Every single one of us has some pain. What I was talking about, yeah, the psychological issues. We're living in a sick way. We're living in a sick way. It would be very hard for you to grow independently as a healthy mind when many people or most of people or everybody around you are actually having some kind of trouble and are actually sure of themselves. Most of us are certain that we're like right, or we're doing the right stuff, that we're normal, more or less that we're normal, yeah, we're doing the right stuff because it's the normal things. So a really crazy person is a person that is crazy and is not aware of his craziness. That's when you're going to be the most crazy, because anything that comes through your head, you're going to believe it because you're crazy or something like that. So the more you believe everything is just okay, even though you're suffering and everybody else is suffering, the deeper you go into your psychological condition. You must be aware that you're not gonna get everything. You will be betrayed, hurt in this environment, in this life. There is not some colorful, flowerful dimension in which all body shapes, genders, psychological, philosophical views, opinions, experiences, everything is accepted and there is space for it and can be freely and safely expressed. No, this is not the reality we live in. That is not even nirvana. I don't know what it is. Sounds more like hell, because many of the things that we actually want to do or that we do are wrong. So it's good. We're limited, I guess. But we have the opportunity to find out more about ourselves, to find out our weaknesses, our issues, and so on. And if it's true that we live in kind of sick way because we're born into this environment which we didn't kind of choose, and we cannot grow as a healthy individual, what it fully would mean to be a healthy individual, I cannot even imagine it, and I have not seen a lot of healthy individuals? Is it going to be some people of science or some people of God? Some YouTubers, famous, Speed and so on, some artists, like the casual worker, the casual grandma on the street, the casual... Everybody had issues, man. Everybody has issues in something. And what about, you want to tell me that I'm wrong, maybe? Somebody from you will be like, what am I talking about? Like, you are just not aware of your psychological disorder. I'm telling it to you as a friend. I'm telling it to you as one psychologically disordered person to another psychologically disordered person. As you can see, as I'm claiming to be psychologically disordered, even though I don't have a very specific scientific term or whatever that I have, or science would call it, I'm kind of aware about it. And I'm paying attention about my stuff, or I'm paying attention when others tell me things about me, or what I did, or why am I crazy, and so on. And I try to learn from it, and pay attention to myself, and see... GoPro overheating. Yeah, and by others' reactions, see more about myself, how I affect others, and so on, and what I did, and why I did it, and how it affected the situation, what was the outcome. If I'm not paying attention to these things, there would be no way for me to know, right? So once you start paying attention to this stuff, with who you had arguments, why you had arguments, how you behaved in the argument, even if you were right, everything comes from some type of trauma. We all have some type of trauma. You know you have a trauma, minimum for one thing, and it's never just one thing, alright? Having a trauma means you're not healthy, you're not healed up, at least since the trauma, if you're still carrying it in you. So you're not healthy individual, even if it's not a psychological disorder. Here we go. I just proved it in another way, logically, that we are not okay, alright? And you know what I mean, because you're just like me, just living your life in your way, having the foundation of being a human. This is what we are the same for, and then how we live and experience and do in the life is where the differences come from. Of course, we have some genetics as well that we're born with, that vary from person to person. But as a whole, in this sick way of living that we are currently materializing, we cannot properly grow and develop. We're being taught to chase money or to be scared by how dangerous the world is. Always something. But we just have a psychological disorder because we actually live in this crazy something ways and methods of life, and we don't do the healthy and right thing. That's why we will have disorders. If you're a squirrel, you're gonna have to eat nuts. And even if there is only potatoes and you learn to eat potatoes, you might live a lot, but you wouldn't be a proper squirrel because your body needs nuts. And even if it managed to survive somehow on potatoes, doesn't change the fact that you are not a real, proper, healthy squirrel. And in the same example, we are not a real, proper, healthy human in the head. And also what is here goes into the reality and the physical body and so on, as you know. So it's not random that I'm saying this. I like talking about stuff like that. It's not random that I'm right now exactly talking about this. It's just the more I spoke with people, and I always looked up to somebody to hope that they're gonna teach me and show me or whatever. Sooner or later came the moment where I saw how they have troubles. Is it with the ego or whatever, fear or whatever? It's just a trauma. It's just a place where they cannot handle and manage it, and they become overwhelmed, and the disorder starts coming out. And many of us don't like it, and we just find a way to turn around and continue going like nothing happened, just so we don't have to deal with this trauma. Check your psychological disorders, guys. The sooner you find about it, what it is exactly, when, because I was 7 years old and whatever happened, because I was 15 and whatever happened, because I was 9 and somebody did whatever to me. All kinds of stuff happen, yes. Some of them are really unfair and some of us experience these unfair things. Many of us actually experience something unfair, but I don't think everybody have exactly physically the same bad moments in life. But that doesn't mean we don't suffer equally. Anyways, as soon as you know you're sick, you're gonna look for a cure. And if you believe to me now that you have a psychological disorder, which is in connection to the trauma that we experience of living in a sick way, that can affect and make anyone go sick in a different way in the head. That's why you gotta check it, because there is not one thing that you can say, oh, it's this disorder for us and that's it. No, everybody can develop it differently. And yeah, once you become aware of your stuff and issues and you're like, can laugh at it, be like, I'm so silly, I'm so crazy, I better fix this, I can be better, how can I be better? You're gonna become aware that others as well are experiencing psychological disorders. And even if you're angry and arguing with them, at least in the back of your head, you're gonna have connection to the reality that, damn, look at us, we're fucked up now again, I hope we fix it. At least there's that hope when you know and you're aware about it. That's today's video. Actually, it turned out to be philosophical gaming. It's okay, I haven't made one of those for some week or so. But no mining today. Just check your psychological disorders. I've constantly been thinking about stuff like that and about the ego. I wanted to make a video about the ego. It's so hard to make a video about the ego. I tried. I kept getting interrupted or whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's just so hard to make a video about the ego without putting ego into it. It's so crazy for a human. For me, it's so hard to go out of my ego, even though I'm trying to be honest, good, humble, and so on and so on, and believing that I'm kind of getting there. It's so hard to not let the ego interfere in whatever I do about it, especially when I'm gonna talk and philosophically think about it, gaming. Yeah, that's today's video. See you tomorrow again. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed and maybe you're gonna find your psychological issues faster. That's it from me. See you tomorrow. As I said, stay strong, stay good. Don't forget to have fun. Ready, out.